You've given in other interviews an example of how gold preserves wealth better than fiat currency,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you use bread as an example. Would you mind sharing that as we wrap up with my viewers?
Oh, absolutely. If we go back to 1913 when this experiment started, if you had a $1 gold coin, which is a 20th of an ounce, maybe half the size of my pinky fingernail, where you had a $1 silver coin, where you had a $1 silver certificate, you could have bought 11 loaves of bread with any of those, the three of them. If you go to today, and not exactly today because I didn't do the calculations, but I'll get you pretty close. You can get maybe a third of a loaf with that dollar bill. You can get roughly 11 loaves of bread with this 1 ounce silver coin, but you can get about 135 loaves of bread with that $1 20th of an ounce gold coin. I mean, it holds its purchasing power. That is the single most important function that money was supposed to do. But fiat money, that dollar bill, by design, if you go back to when they were creating it, they knew that not one man in a million understood inflation, and that inflation creates what's called nominal confusion because the government wanted to be able to tax you without you knowing about it. So there's that inflation tax that we hear about.
Mm.
Corporations wanted to pay you less, but knew if you were used to getting $10, you weren't going to accept 5. If, however, that $10 spent like 5, well, look at all the income and wealth inequality. So this system, by design, was created to rob you of what you really have, which is your work, your time. Gold prevents that. And historically, I mean, we've got thousands of years to look at. So yes, they suppress the price. So people might say, well, how come gold prices is so much higher? Because it's really simple. A rising gold price is an indication of a failing currency. And when you really understand that this currency, this fiat money that they can print at will is dying, then you start to make different choices. This is good money. And the other point that is so important that I never really hear anybody talk about it is why has gold and silver never, ever, ever gone to zero? Because fiat money in stock markets and bond markets, they can't say that. They've gone to zero over 4,800 times. But gold and silver hasn't. You know why? Because they have the broadest functionality and the broadest base of users. Physical silver and gold are used in every single sector of the global economy. Used in finance, used in art, used in food, used in engineering, used in space travel, on and on and on and on. So when you're going into a fight, and we are entering a fight for your freedom in your life and your choices and your children's, right? What do you want? You want something that's only accepted in one place, the financial, and so when nobody trusts it, that's it, it's done. Or do you want a flipping arsenal? May go up, may go down. True supply and demand, not on the spot market because they can create as much silver and gold as they want. But in the physical only realm, oh yeah, we're seeing premiums rise. We're seeing prices rise, regardless of what happens on the spot market. So just think about, I mean, I think that is like the most important thing that nobody ever talks about.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. I remember reading one time where the gold and a $20 bill like 100 years ago were basically equal, and now $20 buys you one little sack of pathetic groceries. Meanwhile, a gold coin is worth like $1,950. I mean, just in 100 years, the difference. One of
Correct.
them can continue to buy you, you know, dozens and dozens of loaves of bread, and the other one can buy you a quarter of a loaf.